I have a privilege to have with me one of the world experts on Middle East politics, Mordechai Kedar.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Katzin.
Honored to be with you, and we're at the conference of conservative values, we can say. And maybe one question for you. Middle East and the Ukrainian conflict, are there any lessons that Israel actually can derive from this bloody war in Ukraine, and what we can do to make sure that that's not going to happen here?
Well, definitely. The world actually proved that agreements and documents worth nothing, because the Budapest Memorandum from 1994, which was supposed to ensure the contiguity of the Ukrainian land, turned to be nothing, and not even worth the paper which it's printed on. This is one thing. Second thing, Israel has to defend itself by itself. Israel cannot depend on any other power in the world, no other state or no other organization of states. Number three, nuclear countries are more or less immune. If Ukraine did not give up on its nuclear weapons, this would not happen, what happens today. Only because Ukraine gave up on her nuclear power, they suffer what they suffer today. Iran derives the conclusions. This is why Iran wants nuclear weapons today, in order to be immune when Iran takes over the rest of the Middle East as they aspire. And these are the main conclusions which we all should draw from the Ukrainian crisis.
And maybe just one question for you, because we see that even though that American intelligence predicted that Ukrainian army will collapse in a matter of 2-3 days, we see 3 months later Ukrainian actually resisting successfully until today the attacks.
Well,
and it is possibly because of the resilience and unity and understanding their own right to exist.
Definitely.
So what do we learn as a Israeli society internally?
This is another conclusion which we should derive, that only a nation which is cohesive, which is sure in its rights to its land, self-support, socially, only this kind of society can resist a superpower which invades its land. And Baruch Hashem, Israel is united, especially vis-a-vis our enemies outside. Inside we do have some issues here, but when it comes to our enemies, everybody is one iron fist.
We want to thank you so much and wish to see you and learn from you when you come back to New York.
Thank you so much.
Looking forward. Thank you so much.